Well, top of the morning to ya. This is Mikoy. Welcome back to the TLT podcast. I am joined by the only Irish woman in our group.
I'm not Irish.
What? You don't think you're auto Scottish either?
No?
Trying to perfect my European accent eventually when I come to Europe for the first time. Hopefully that will happen in the future, lassie. Anyway, introduce yourself.
Hey, it's Poker 2004 here. I may have European descent, but not of that kind.
You should you should honor your accent, will ya? By start doing them accents, why don't ya?
That'd be too many accents to do. Do you know how many different countries I have descent from, Mikoy?
No. England's one of them.
Let's just assume it's like all of Eastern Europe, okay?
Europe is a country, apparently, according to the community. Anyway, last time we covered...
Wait, what?
No, it's true. A lot of people here think that Europe is a country. Anyway, last time we covered...
Alright, we need to pull out the geography lessons.
Last time... I'm giving all to you. In Accent Farm. Last time we covered TLT round 3 predictions and round 2 recap. So today we're gonna cover round 4. Round 4 recap, that is, and round 5 predictions. I don't know why I messed that up. Blame the accents.
Yeah, you're multitasking here, me.
Alright, so round 4. Let's see what happens, shall we? Starting off with the winner's bracket. First of all, we got Penter versus Fragments. Fragments won.
Are you gonna be doing an accent the entire video?
No, that would be too much strain on my vocal cords. Thank you very much.
Good.
Alright, first of all, we got Fragments beating Penter in 2. First of all was doubles, where Fragments had Volcanion throughout the whole game, who was pretty useful in taking out multiple mons on Penter's team, even getting a free burn on his Como, which had the Iron Defense body press set.
Actually, 2 free burns.
Where was the other one?
At the end.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Well, that doesn't matter because Fragments already won by the end. But nothing much else to say about this game, honestly. It was just a really dominant performance by Fragments, showcasing his double skill uniquely well, and worked off Penter's Mon one by one, with Landorus as sack fodder, and then Fluttermane and Rillaboom serving as useful support for Volcanion.
Penter made a misplay. I think it was at turn 4?
Turn 4, you say?
Yeah, turn 4, I say. Hold on,
well, explain this turn, because I didn't get
it. The sound wasn't completely off. Oh dear, okay. Going to turn 4. Penter had Rillaboom and Lando in. Killed Fragments' Lando. And in comes Fragments' own Rillaboom. Now Penter switches to Como and Volcanion. So this would have been a pretty good switch if he had done it slightly differently.
Oh.
If he had So he switched out Landorus for Como and switched out Rillaboom for Volcanion. However, he should have switched out Landorus for Volcanion and Rillaboom for Como because, well, yeah, I think it's pretty clear, of the 2 mons you had out, one, obviously the Lando is much more at risk there.
Yes.
And is probably going to take an attack from the
Rillaboom.
They're more likely to take a steam.
Steam eruption.
Steam eruption. Yes, thank you. I think the Como slot was more likely to take a steam eruption, so I think that slot should have gone to Volcanion. And
water absorb.
I think I think switching in. Well, I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I think you make a point here because
I'm struggling.
if you're gonna switch in, against an attacking Rillaboom and or Volcanion, you might as well switch into something that either resists a hit or just straight up is immune to it, as was the case with Volcanion. However, Penter made a crucial mistake by switching into Volcanion, who is one of only 2 Mons, well actually 3 Mons, but Gomora is already dead, but one of only 2 remaining Mons on his team left that doesn't resist Rillaboom.
Yeah, although I think it's understandable that he probably didn't expect an oncoming Woodhammer from Fragments' Rillaboom.
I guess he might have been expecting
what was originally his Rillaboom.
I guess maybe he was expecting a U-turn or something.
Yeah, maybe. But like, Como would have also been good to take that as well.
Right. So, in any way you regards, Penter should have had the Como slot and then the Volcanion slot right here. So, yeah. Other than that, anything else to comment on?
Let's see. Well, overall, I think Penter just left Fragments' Volcanion alone way too long.
Okay.
Bro should have gotten that thing out as soon as he could. Or at least, he wasted too many opportunities to actually get it out.
Yeah, I guess Volcanion should have been reserved for like the end game when Fragments had too many low-hanging Mons left. Or things that Volcanion can easily take out. Right?
I'm talking about Fragments' Volcanion that Penter ignored.
Oh, yeah. He let it linger, basically. Yeah, he let it linger. He should have taken it out with an immediate Rillaboom attack, or a Lando if you're ballsy. But, yeah. He let it linger on for the remainder of the game, and that's why he lost.
I wouldn't say immediate, but point is, he didn't get his first good hit on it until turn 7.
Which is way too late in the game, and Volcanion already claimed way too many kills by that point.
That wasn't his first hit on it, period, but that was the first actual very damaging hit because it got fake out early in the game. That already long since healed by the time it got attacked again.
Yeah, it was rendered moot. So yeah, Fragments clearly the better doubles player here, and nothing much else to say. Fragments is better here. Next up was RU, which, there were some interesting things that caught Fragments off guard early on, such as the eject button Slitherwing, which Fragments even commented, what the F?
Eject button?
Eject button Slitherwing on turn 1.
Let me see this. Yeah. Well, to be honest, it makes sense given what Penter brought here.
It does make sense. It just wasn't expected. It just wasn't an expected one. So yeah, the Rain team...
you would think the Polycode runs with the Polycode.
Yeah, it was kind of a meh choice for an item personally, but I can see why. I can see why Penter would use such a thing. He just wants to get Slitherwing out, just take a first impression. Then, if it gets attacked, then it switches out so you can do another one later on. I get it. Kind of still meh. But yeah, most of this game was Fragment outstalling Penter, taking multiple hits from the water mons that Penter brought, the semi-rain as what have you. This Pheasantipity with Terra Water just kept walling the hits produced by both Basculegion and Politoed. Politoed missing crucial Hydro Pumps from Rain in order to mitigate some of the stall. Yeah, this was just a very Pheasantipity style game. He was just neutered thanks to that.
I'm not gonna lie, some of what Penter did in this game confused me.
For example,
Why charge beam versus the Pheasantipity on that one turn? And why did he just keep using Trailblaze on the Hippowdon? Surely that's not what hit hardest in those moments, right?
No, definitely not. What is that?
Why was Bro prioritizing super effectiveness and not what actually hit hardest?
Yeah, if this doesn't have any bug moves, then I will.
No bug moves or close combat would be strange.
Yeah, this would be a strange Slitherwing bring. But yeah.
Also, I don't think one of those Hydro Pumps mattered too much when it missed the Pheasantipity.
Well, the first one didn't, but the second one definitely did after seeing how much damage it did. So, yeah, the Pheasantipity definitely proved its worth here. Was pretty much the MVP in this game. And yeah, Mimikyu got burned at the end, confirming the win by Fragments. It was just a very dominant display.
Man, I still don't get why Bro charge beamed. Like, you're about to die. At least hit the hit with the hardest move you got.
You had Hurricane.
You have Hurricane.
You had Hurricane.
Hurricane.
It wasn't rain.
You probably have Dark Pulse. I almost said Nasty Plot, but I don't know if it even gets that.
Oh dear God, if it did. But yeah, it was in rain. You had the perfect chance to Hurricane and maybe get a kill on Pheasantipity, and you just didn't.
Nah, that would not have killed, but it would have done more than what that did.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Spencer is in the losers bracket. Fragments still firmly in the winners bracket.
Fragments looking pretty strong right now.
Looking pretty strong. Next up is 7U992 versus JJ. So, JJ, despite losing his Rapid Spinner early, was able to outplay 7U at almost every turn, using Spiky Shield to block incoming Encores from Tinkaton while seeding it. It outstalled Zoroark's Hisui's Flamethrower with Pheasantipity, managing to Terra Water against Earth-powering Iron Jugulus, even getting away with a Gunk Shot miss to have Chestnut take the win.
Yeah, turn 1 of this game confused me purely because, first the Pheasantipity U-turns, but, I guess that was because they were expecting a switch out.
Maybe.
But no, he stayed in with Slitherwing and then also U-turned,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. What was the thinking behind both of those turns? I guess JJ expected a switch from 7U, so U turned out. But what was 7U's thinking behind that? Did he expect it to switch?
I think I think both just outpredicted massively and want to get a pivot out. So there you go. Outprediction may be smart in the long run just to get some momentum done, and decided to pivot nicely just so he could bring in some of the heavy hitters in. But yeah, whatever.
This Slitherwing, I don't know. I don't recall its full set, but these things can run Earthquake, I believe.
Yeah, it can.
If it had that.
Yeah, if it had that, it would have done some damage. I find it
interesting it didn't go for it.
It would have done some damage. But yeah,
he was staying in, but I guess he didn't. But I guess he still wanted to switch out.
I don't know. Maybe it's true.
Or did he think he was faster? I don't know. The term confuses me a little. It's sort of it's a pretty minor nitpick in the long run, but it just confused me when I saw it.
Yeah, JJ, but once again, yeah, JJ managing to outplay in the long run, 79-92. Even though it ended up being close, Chestnut with Chestnut only JJ remaining Mon, while 79-92 had all of his Mons gone. By the end, it was still a pretty okay game.
I gotta tell you, it was funny when I saw Tinkaton supposedly use U-turn.
Yeah. You know, thing don't run that.
Yeah,
Unless
I was briefly very confused, and then I'm like,
oh wait.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Then Ubers was next, and JJ actually proving that the Webs team that everyone seems to be spamming these days actually can be useful in certain situations.
I don't think it's not a Webs team. It's not that one Webs team. It's just there's actually a lot of variations of it. Like, not all of those Webs teams run Basque Legion, but this one does.
This one apparently does, and not all Webs teams are bad. This one is actually pretty good against JJ's team. So yeah.
What? Well, JJ brought the
oh
Webs.
No, against 7U's team. Yeah, never mind. There was one turn that really confused me. There was turn 6 to 8 where Gliscor stayed in against the Arceus ground. 7U let the Arceus ground set up with Dragon Dance while it was trying to attack it, so fair enough. And then it stayed in again in turn 8 when Arceus ground revealed Ice Beam and killed it. Now, as an Ubers main...
To be fair, I think he was just kind of hoping and praying it wasn't the Ice Beam set.
As an Ubers main, you should know that this Arc Ground set is pretty much the normal set that they use these days. Dragon Dance, Taunt...
It is rather normal, but I don't believe they all run that. I don't think they all run that. I think he was just, at that point, praying it was not the Ice Beam set, because look at his team. He doesn't have a switch-in.
He doesn't have a switch-in, and that's the problem. Especially against an Arc Ground.
Sometimes you can't help that, Mikoi. Sometimes you bring a team, and your team has some natural weaknesses, so you just gotta hope your opponent doesn't bring that natural weakness.
Well, that's the problem. Since Arc Ground is there and is probably running the normal set anyway, you at least have to expect that now. And yeah, this wasn't a mistake on 7U's build. I'm not claiming that it's 7U's fault that he didn't foresee that JJ would bring such a thing as Arceus Ground. I'm saying, as an Ubers man, you should if you see an Arc Ground, you should already know what to think what the normal set is.
I think he did know, Mikoi. I think he was just praying it wasn't that, because, he doesn't exactly have anything else that can really take an earthquake super well.
And
especially now that it's been boosted.
Twice. Well, not twice, but it was boosted. It was boosted, and that's exactly how it happened. And that's how exactly what JJ's 7U's downfall was, is that he lost to this Arc Ground who kept sweeping him, even taking a +2 boosted extreme speed from normal Arceus.
Yes, clearly this was a somewhat bulky Arc Ground.
It was a bulky Arc Ground, and in the end, JJ ultimately beat him with the Arc Ground set.
7U9I2, more like 7U9 I lost into.
Ha ha ha.
I'm so sorry, that was bad.
But yeah, learn to expect the normal sets next time. Just have it at the back of your mind. It's like, this is the normal set. This is the normal set. Like,
Mikoi, your advice is not helpful to anyone because I feel almost certain he knew this. I keep saying he probably knew and just prayed it wasn't that because he literally did not have any other option.
Well, it's time I implement. Well, it's time to think twice then.
What
Next.
is he? He can't do anything. There is no thinking twice. There's either it's normal set or it's not. If it is, you're screwed.
Take the L. Next up, we got Hellray versus Nimzowitch. So, Yu. Hellray was
I
on.
would just like to say that even though you may have been right on this predict, I still I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I would have gotten this right without any hacks.
Oh my god. We're going to talk about this one next. So, the Hellray versus Nimzo game. First of all, it was Yu, where Hellray was on the offensive for most of this, using Gastrodon to beat the Iron Shreds, removing threats with already boosted stats, which was very, very nicely done. Foul playing the Ogre Pawn to death, you'll love to see it. Okidogi removing the Azumarill.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he did. I don't know why Nimzo used Sword Stance in front of a thing that basically that not only resists the primary type but always runs foul play.
Right. I don't know why Nimzo decided to keep the Ogre Pawn. Maybe he was expecting a switch out. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know what the Grimmsnarl's running per se, but probably should have gone into that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Towards the end, Nimzo did get, as you said, the hacks was real in this Yu game. Nimzo getting a lot of lucky paralysis after paralyzing the Okidogi to allow the screens up and boost Scizor a couple of times to allow the sweep to happen on Hellray, even tanking an E-speed after -1 defense after close combat.
Yeah, there was unfortunately nothing he could do thanks to those pairs.
The pairs definitely sucked for Hellray, and unfortunately, Nimzo just kind of took advantage of that and won.
Had less of those happened, if he got like maybe 1 or 2 less paras, we'd be looking at a different game, I think.
Yeah, I think Hellray would have easily clutched the end game despite the hacks, but yeah, those hacks matter, unfortunately. And then game 2 was OU, where Hellray was once again on the offensive, taking out Great Tusk immediately after it got rocks up, ceaseless edging against Goldingo fairly well, and even terraferrying Como against the Iron Valiant.
Would just like to say I don't understand why Hellray did not switch out Samurott earlier when the Valiant came in. Like
Turn 11, you mean?
Shouldn't you like switch that out immediately?
I guess it was.
Instead,
It just.
you let this thing set up the +3 for free.
Well, I get. Well, it was gonna +3. A is gonna +3 anyway, I guess, and B, I think it just wanted to one more layer of spikes in. Because the hazard remover is gone, might as well take advantage of the thing. So yeah, it wasn't nice, but the crucial thing that happened, for at least for me, was turn 21, right at the end, where Ivy Cudgel crit killed the Como, who would have likely won the game for Hellray.
I'd say it was definitely far more likely than without the crit, but I wouldn't say guaranteed because of what Nimzo had in the back, which they specified at the end. They said they had Encore D-Knight, which I don't think changed a damn thing, but the Terraflying King Gambit, that would make it resist the body press, and well, I guess it wouldn't be coming in on full, but it would be it would be the last Mon, I think. And it would be like...
Mhm.
So it would be like insanely boosted off of,
Supreme Overlord, yeah. The Kowtow Clays
Yeah.
would have hit. But, since...
Oh wait, actually, it wouldn't have been the last Mon. He probably would have sent it out had the Body Press killed the Ogre Pawn. The King Gambit probably would have came out on that turn, saving D-Knight for last.
Yeah, I could see that also happening. Also, the fact that, the Body Press was still at +2 instead of the +4 that we're used to seeing from Como sweeps. Yeah,
Well, obviously, he didn't have the time to set that up.
Yeah, right.
Let me check something, okay? I'm gonna how much Ironhead for King Gambit would have done, and see how the damage comes out from the +2 body press on the Terraflying.
Okay.
That item to Rocky Hill. Close, I think.
What's your calc?
I don't know the exact spread of Como, obviously. I don't know how much defense was actually in that. Might have to do another calculation to figure that out, but according to this set at least, Body Press would have done about 32 to 38% onto the Terraflying King Gambit, and Ironhead without any boosts did 38 to 46 with 4 allies fainted.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't have mattered. Because Ironhead would have still done a lot. And
then there's taking into account how much Ivy cudgel from, Ogre Pawn would have done without the crit. It probably still did a fair amount considering it killed it with a crit.
Yes. I'd say around 20 or 30%.
Ogre Pawn, Cornerstone, don't know.
She's calcing again. What?
Alright, Miko, you wanna hear this?
Please.
With a crit, it was guaranteed to kill. However, without a crit, it did about 41 to 49.
God damn! It would have definitely put...
Wait, that's Power Whip. It's close. No, it's not close. It does quite a bit less than Power Whip, huh? It does, sorry, the first numbers I gave was for Power Whip, but, okay, for Ivy Cudgel, 34 to about 41.
That's still pretty damn much.
So, combined with that damage, that would have left Como with about 60-something% of its health left.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. King Gambit would have come out. It would have been on around 76% of its health, I want to say, due to Spike's damage.
Yeah.
Then it goes Terraflying. It takes the aforementioned amount of damage from the body press, being about 32 to 38. So that leaves it at a bit under 40%, actually. Wait.
Really?
Yeah, and then it would have done a fair, the other aforementioned amount from Ironhead, and that would have done a lot.
So it would have still put him in a yellow.
Como would have been pretty low by that point.
Yeah, it would have definitely put him in a yellow.
I think Sucker Punch kills it at that range, so...
No, I don't think so either. It would have put him in the red. If
I think King Gambit would have been relatively low, but I don't quite think it was enough to die to body press. I mean, let's assume it's leftovers. It might have been slightly out of range.
Oh.
However, Tomoa would have been so low
Only dies to
that,
D9.
like, it would have been, like, it's very possible that Nimzo could have just used Sucker Punch, and then, boom, it lives, but it's slow enough that it just dies to an E-Speed from D-Knight, or hell, another attack, because who knows, maybe the D-Knight just outspeeds, because this isn't a fast Komo.
Yeah, so in any way you put it, Nimzo still had the advantage.
Yeah, I think Nimzo probably still won.
Probably. The UU game was rough, but the OU game, you could argue maybe the fact that Nimzo still would have won.
I'd say it's very possible Hellray could have still won as well, though, with a bit of luck.
With a bit of you know, the Como magic, getting that Terra Fairy on. All right, next up, Tanish versus Sificon. We can't show you the replays because of a certain thing that happened in between the weeks. So the replay, as you see, is not found. But we were able to watch the game before the replays, I think, were there. I even had to ask both of them for confirmation on what happened. So this is the rough summary. In Monotype, Tanish brought a Zoroark Hisui, which Siffy didn't prepare for.
Hey, that's not how you start a recap. You gotta say Monotype. They both brought Mono Ghost.
Oh, that's right. Right. Monotype. They both brought Mono Ghost. Tanish brought a Monotype team with Zoroark Hisui, which Siffy, as he mentioned, didn't prepare for and kept being out-predicted by it multiple times. If you saw the game, you would know that the Siffy...
It was hilarious.
Siffy tried to Shadow Ball a thing multiple times, but due to Zoroark Hisui being there and Illusion being there, Tanish had a free... whatchamacallit, a free kill or a free attack worthy enough to...
Yeah, a lot of free attacks, and it really sucked for Siffy, because, like, he wouldn't know if he could hit this thing, if he could hit the opposing Mon or not, because, like, is it the Hisui and Zoroark, or is it Fluttermane?
Yeah. He just kept losing to it multiple times. He also lost Dragapult at turn 2, which was very crucial, as he pointed out. And then he got back into the game. He attempted a Ceruledge sweep, but was halted by that same Zoroark. Ultimately, it beat him. Monotype was a pain in the butt for Siffy. PU wasn't much better. Tanish definitely was the better player. Siffy bringing Psyterrain, Hyper Offense.
Psyterrain, HO, yeah. Siffy basically played Psyterrain HO like how one would play a Brain Dead offense, you know?
He did play, yeah,
just send out one thing, attack, it dies, send down, or it gets crippled. You can't really switch it out, because like, odds are something else takes... odds are something else takes pretty bad damage.
Yeah, it was very hard for Siffy to play. Tanish ultimately was the better player in that one. He was able to play exclusively to his strengths.
Basically, he played the game nice and slow, crippled Siffy's Mons, made sure they couldn't get too much damage off or set up too much before just getting too crippled to do much. Yeah, he just played slow, outstalled, willed them down, and won.
Yeah, very, very good win by Tanish. Very well played and very well built team, especially the Mono one. Very good to bring a Mono Ghost that works against other Monoghost teams, and then PU he was straight up better player. What else can you say? Tanish is improving.
Oh yeah, isn't Tanish in like very far in a PU seasonal?
Yes, he was. A lot of people have been sleeping on Tanish. He's improving, people. Watch out for him.
You were also sleeping on Tanish.
I was.
Predicted sci-fi, remember?
Well, yes, but I could have easily saw Tanish win. I was sleeping on Tanish for a reason.
No, you were pretty adamant about Siffy winning.
I was, because of experience. But no, clearly Tanish is improving and is a better player, so I'll eat my words.
Told ya.
So good job, Tanish. Good job on winning. Next up, we have the losers bracket. First of all, Geov versus Taka. Well, LC, first of all. Game was pretty even for the first couple of turns, I'd say. Taka methodically killing Voltorb, and Geov managing to outpredict on Diglett's Earthquake, and paralyzing Glamette on the switch-in with Tinkatink. All nice and good, right? Well, the game went into Geov's favor with the full paralysis on turn 12, and Diglett missed a Rock Blast on Vullaby, letting it kill it and rapid spinning away good hazards at a decent enough point. And Toadstool and Coughing ended up carrying Geov to a big win.
I'm just going through the game right now.
Also, they shared via...
I saw it earlier in the week, but I didn't actually review it a second time.
Also, they posted it via HTML viewer, which it's really hard on phone, and it's really hard to view this when you're actually looking at the screen right here, but...
Get a laptop, Mikoi.
Sorry. Get a laptop that works with your audio. Alright, so, yeah.
Well, I mean, never mind.
Shush. I'm poor, okay? Hey, shush. Alright, so, yeah.
It was very well played by Geov. Because now I remember, by the end of the game, I was laughing because Taka was clearly forgetting that regen was not working in front of a neutralizing gas Coughing.
Yeah. Coughing ultimate.
He's switching out his regen on trying to get them more health, but then they come back in and they get even lower because they gain no health back in. Now they get more rocks damage, and he just loses to Coughing.
He loses to Coughing via sludge bombs.
Because it's Scarf and everything's too low to take it.
Thanks, neutralizing gas. Why are people running that in Coughing? It's good, apparently.
Well, Mikoi, this is a prime example of why it's good.
Exactly.
It just stopped regen spam.
Good job, Coughing. Alright, next was Ubers, where Taka had pretty much the dominant hand at the start, using his Arceus to full effect by going for Taunt against Ting-Lu, and having Ice Beam to take out Gliscor, as again, the normal set of the Arceus ground.
Yeah, you see, I think 7U9I2 knew about that, but simply didn't have much of a choice. Geov, I don't think she knew about that.
Well, she's not an Ubers main.
She did tell me that she doesn't really play the tier.
Yeah, she's not an Ubers main, unlike a certain other player who's an Ubers main, and that's why I had a problem with them not knowing what the set was.
Mikoi, stop assuming they didn't know.
Fine, I won't. So, anyway, going back.
Explaining this, man.
Alright, going back. The D-Dance Earth, again, the normal Arceus set was very The normal Arceus ground set was very crucial to defeating Geove here at the first couple of turns. Then the webs, very beneficial for Taka at the end. Outspeeding the Zacian with his own Zacian, being able to Oko it after a Swords Dance boost and swept everything else.
Yeah, I don't know if there was too much she could have done differently.
Yeah,
There probably was some things, but you can't really. This isn't exactly an easy situation to get out of if you don't know the tier too well.
Yeah. So Taka won that very handily. And then PU. We actually got to see a PU game. Ha! Take that, PU haters. It was very short though, fairly short game. Taka used webs again to pilot.
Yep, webs offense a second time.
Yeah, Taka used webs again, using Levani as the web setter, then using Poliwrath to fully sweep Geove's team, even using Terra Poison against Geove's Terra Electric Persian Alola, and avoiding confusion from Charizard's Hurricanes to fully win.
Yeah, I think Geove could have definitely played this better.
I guess the webs. I guess the webs kind of ruined her momentum a lot. Maybe she could have switched in the Raichu when it wasn't boosted as this boosted Poliwrath. But
yeah, I literally gave that as one of my criticisms to her gameplay when talking to her.
Yeah, if she switched in the white too early.
I don't think she necessarily. I don't know if she should have. Maybe she shouldn't have. Maybe she shouldn't have switched out Persian, or maybe she should have switched in. Raichu. Maybe she should have switched in Raichu instead of going into Charizard. Okay, but when Charizard fainted, she should not have gone into Samurott. That was a dumb move.
Yeah, that was
and then switch out the Samurott to get a.
To get the Raichu in.
Only somewhat clean switching into Raichu, but that's already after it did that already.
Yeah.
It boosted itself up again. And I guess maybe she didn't have. I guess Psyshock was the best psychic move she had against this thing.
Yeah, she only had Psychic again. No, she only had Psyshock against Poliwrath, which didn't really help because Poliwrath was already boosted defense.
I think maybe she shouldn't have switched out Persian early and maybe stayed in and nasty plotted to like make sure this thing doesn't get the opportunity to continue setting up like it was doing.
It was also substitute. Also, it was under webs, which also crippled her a little bit more, putting her at a huge
but the Persian still outsped.
It did.
And so did the Raichu, I think.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, the Raichu did too.
Yeah. So yeah, it could have gone better for Geove, but unfortunately the webs and the Poliwrath kind of swept her at the end, and Taka moves on in the losers bracket.
She didn't play around the Poliwrath well, so yeah, she lost.
Rip.
She didn't know how to deal with it.
Rip.
She told me that she panicked when that it started happening, and misplayed.
Unfortunate. Next up, we got Keshba beating VK, a player who we were very high on last week, and then boom, ended up losing to Keshba.
Yeah, I was shocked that happened.
Well, if you review the games, this went to 3 games. Keshba only posted the 2 he won.
We will be reviewing all 3, however, because I got my hands on the 3rd replay.
Thank you for doing that. First of all was Ubers, which VK was... Well, I noticed this. VK was a little bit too Switch happy around the beginning, hard switching Koraidon when he needed to sack Lamora at turn 6.
Yeah, I can understand wanting to maybe save Glamora for later to have as a safe stack and get a safe switch in at some point, but I don't know if that was worth getting damaging your Koraidon. And yeah, you're right. I think he was a little switch happy.
He was definitely switch, and then later he used Miraidon as cannon fodder basically against Giratina, and then later Tinglu. Well, you can possibly get around the fact of saying, oh, he wanted to get rid of his air balloon, maybe he wanted to stall out some turns, but why the frick waste it? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, BK's team is hyper offense.
Not really built.
It's hard to.
Yeah, it's not really built.
Not really. Well, at a certain point, you get. At a certain point, you get to a point. Sorry for redundancy, where you have trouble switching things out and just want to do as much damage as possible before you die, so you can have a safe switch in, maybe.
Yeah, it definitely could have helped mitigate some of the. That definitely helps to preserve your mons a little bit more, rather than letting them die and take damage. Calyrex did try to Trick Room Sweep to no avail, only getting to kill Terra Steel, Giratina, and Tinglu before losing to the low kick Koraidon. And yeah, Kesh did better at the end, burning Rayquaza after VK got, admittedly, a bit greedy with a second Dragon Dance. And
I wanted to point that out. Yeah, I'm assuming he Dragon Danced a second time because it's possible Earthquake did not kill from that range.
I would assume so, yeah. Admittedly, it was a bit too greedy, but I could understand it. Just a shame that it carried Will-O-Wisp.
Unfortunately, it would have been basically the same result, but worse if in fact it did not kill. I think it would have got. I did some calcs earlier on the matter, and while I don't think the Arceus set was accurate, in fact, I think Kesh was using a bulkier Arceus set than what the calc had, and it estimated. And I say this because Earthquake did about 46 to 53.
That's after +1, right?
No, after +2 and burned.
Oh.
And at +1 not burned. Oh wait, how much did it do again? Oh, let me this won't take long. Yeah, I think yeah, Kesh must have used a bulky Arceus Steel, cause like
Why?
Oh my gosh.
Why?
At +1, this is the Rayquaza guarantees a kill with Earthquake at the range Keshpa's was at.
Huh. So
it must have been a bulky set.
Yeah, I think that's what VK was expecting, is to be that bulky Arceus set. So that's why he did a second Dragon Dance. However, it couldn't. If it wasn't, then you just wasted your chance at a kill here.
Well, let's see how much it does when it's at no, not Impish, Bold. Yeah, Bold. Okay, let's see how much it does with Bold, max defense, max HP.
And
it does 52 to about 62.
That's +1.
It does not kill.
That's +1, right?
Yep.
+1, no burn. Oh yeah, it would have gotten him in the low. However, that if Rayquaza had E-Speed, then that is a guaranteed kill.
No, but still would have gotten burned.
It was still gotten
It
burned.
still would have gotten
but
burned.
yeah, it wouldn't have worked anyway against the Fluttermane, maybe against the Koraidon, and whatever that said, Alomomola. And of course, Alomomola is going to outstall this man. So, yeah.
But yeah, Kesh probably had a very physically bulky Arceus Steel, considering it was literally running Will-O-Wisp, and things that run Will-O-Wisp are usually meant to take physical hits pretty well.
They're meant to tank, and I think, to go even one step further, I think this was meant to mitigate these kinds of Rayquaza sets, or maybe even Koraidon sets, if you're balls, or even the
not necessarily Koraidon.
Calyrex, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of.
I'm not really sure what specifically it's supposed to. It's for Zacian. It must be for Zacian.
It may be as well for Zacian as well, yeah. But yeah.
Got it.
So yeah, after that, Alomomola was used well, very well actually, up until the end, because it was able to tank the Koraidon hits, and even beating VK's Terrafire Arceus.
Yeah, the crit from Moonblast was a little unfortunate, but I don't think it changed the end result.
It didn't change the end result. Alomomola would have still gotten a kill from Flip Turn.
No, I think it's more likely it just would have died to like Rocky Helmet.
Fair. Next is doubles, which Kesh didn't post on his replays. So the public doesn't get to see this unless you're one of the certain few that happen to catch this live, or save the replays on your own time.
Do we play it for them then?
Yes, we are playing it for them. So, this doubles game, Kesh tried to play this with Aurora Veil Ninetales and Follow Me Ogerpon for a bit early on, but Terraghost Chien-Pao and Fluttermane soon put a stop to that.
You see, that flinch on Iron Hands was really unfortunate. And do you know why?
Yes, the Iron Hands getting flinched by the Icicle Crash was pretty bad, because I'm guessing how am I gonna say this? I guess Keshba was going for a fighting move to kill the Chien-Pao, right? Or maybe go for Thunder Punch. Or maybe go for a Thunder Punch against one of them, because...
No, you're totally missing the point.
Okay, fine. You explain it. Clearly I can't.
I'm going to guess that he was going for Heavy Slam to hit and kill Fluttermane.
Really? Oh, you're thinking of the third move. Okay, fair enough.
Considering he used Heat Wave, which he would have assumed would have hit the Chien-Pao for a lot of damage, and there was the fact that he didn't go for Fake Out, which BK Terraghost did to avoid getting Fake Outed or even Drain Punched.
Okay, makes sense.
And considering Kesh was visibly pretty upset about the flinch, I'm gonna guess he Heavy Slammed on the Fluttermane, which would have taken care of that.
Which would have beaten the Fluttermane, and it would have resulted in not a problem at all. But still, that flinch was pretty bad. And then after that, VK just dominated the endgame. From my perspective, VK dominated the endgame using the Tornadus Tailwind and the Ogerpon to beat the Terra Poison Baxcalibur, then having Rillaboom tank a Blizzard very well before Ninetales got crit OHKO'd by Fluttermane.
I just want to say that I feel Kesh timed his Protect on Baxcalibur completely wrong.
On turn 6? 7?
Well, let's see. What turn was it?
Turn 6 was when he protected.
Yeah, he should have went into attack that turn, even though it would have it wouldn't have actually hit the ogre pawn since it protected. That way he would have been able to protect next turn, and then Heatran would have been able to kill ogre pawn.
So you're thinking he could have maybe, so you're thinking he could have saved his protect till the next turn, so that he at least takes care of the threat. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fact that Rillaboom took 30 from a Blizzard from Ninetales was really funny. Was that Rillaboom AV special defense invested, perhaps?
Yeah, that's actually standard. Standard. Rillaboom usually runs Assault Vest.
And plus 255 special defense with a special defensive nature.
252, excuse me.
But the things count, right? A primarily special defense invested Rillaboom.
Well, let me check the doubles teams in my builder that run Rillaboom, and let's see what they. This is an Assault Vest. It runs 252 HP, 252 plus attack.
Oh.
For defense, it's Adamant Nature.
Oh. Well, this one took 30 from a Blizzard.
Well, let's see what this one runs. 4 special defense and 52 speed. It's Jolly Nature. I think the thing is, yeah, it was definitely Assault Vest, but also Ninetales doesn't hit too hard.
Really?
And this Ninetales was probably made to, well, this Ninetales' primary thing was not being a damage dealer, I guess.
I guess, yeah. It was probably just there to Aurora Veil it all. But still, doing 30 to Rillaboom, hilarious.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Rillaboom was actually more specially defense invested than even most AV Rillabooms. I'm kind of curious on this. I think that Ninetales may have had, like, no special defense, no special attack investment.
Oh, hilarious. That's even more hilarious.
Because, like, if it's 252 with Blizzard, it does 49 to 58 on the Rillaboom, even
that's
with,
normal.
You know, Assault Vest and like a fair amount of special defense investment.
Wow. Alright.
So yeah, he probably didn't have a lot of special attack investment, and I guess there's also the fact that it was a spread move, which also decreases the damage, right?
Yeah, I get. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I guess that would make sense, but yeah, that's just really funny to see.
Yeah, although, just want to point out I think that was a Scarf Ninetales.
Yeah, right. How many doubles players can say that have actually run that?
Well, I never run Ninetales, so I can't claim that.
All right. Well, let's go on to singles territory now and go back to the third game, which was OU, where VK played much better around the beginning. I know he used the muck. Like, I know he used the muck, but I'm pretty sure that's banded muck.
Banded?
I want to say banded muck. Or no. Aw, I got disproven. It was black sludge.
Yes, that's what I figured.
But
that seems pretty standard.
Banded?
I think what you're thinking of is the King Gambit, which, according to the damage, appeared to be banded.
Okay, I got my items wrong. I think that's the banded one. But still, Muck did some...
Yes, I think that is banded because that did a freak ton of damage, despite there being no allies fainted and it being an attack on Alomomola.
Right. That one I'm surprised with. But still, the Muck was still able to do, well, not only poison with Poison Touch, which were very useful. Mooks are known to do that. But getting Poison Touch against Alamomola and Great Tusk was very nice. Cinderace not getting to Pyro Ball much. It practically missed a lot of those Pyro Balls, if I'm being honest. And
yeah, didn't it miss like 2 out of 3?
Yeah, it did miss out 2 out of 3, and even knocked out Thundurus. Ultimately, the Mamon that won the game.
Also, Alomomola, just a minor nitpick with what you were saying. Alomomola was not actually affected by Poison Touch. It was rather the Poison Chance from Poison Jab.
Oh, right. Correct. Yeah, that's why I need people to correct me. All right. And Cash ultimately, as you said, played the ending of this game well with this King Gambit. Well enough to catch VK.
I never actually said that, but okay.
But he was able to catch VK a lot on multiple Sucker Punches against his own King Gambit, and a boosted Swords Dance to do huge Kowtow Cleaves.
I'm of the opinion that while VK played well, he Terra'd too early.
Yeah, this ending Terra was kind of like eh. And what we mean is the Terra Flying Alamabola, which...
Wait, what about that? That wasn't what I was talking about at all.
What? Oh, you mean you mean the Terra Steel Great Tusk? Why didn't he...
I said VK Terra too early. Why would I be talking about Keshba's Terra Flying Alomomola, which he terra'd at the end? It's like the complete opposite of what I was talking about.
Never mind. It was the Terra Steel Great Tusk. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have used that.
Okay, another thing though. Why in the hell did VK knock off at turn 24?
Why?
I'm asking you why. Because in my opinion, that play made no sense.
I guess he was trying to knock off an item from, like, a Slowking or a Cinderace. I don't know.
No matter what how you put it, there was nothing that was immune to a ground-type move incoming, and, like, you kind of needed the King Gambit dead, right?
Right, yeah.
Or else you died? Like, what was the...
What was the play there?
If you're attacking anyways... Then why would you go for that?
Yeah, he had Headlong Rush. Boy had Headlong Rush, or maybe... Maybe he was expecting a Sucker Punch? I don't know.
100% should have Headlong Rush. And another complaint I have is on the turn where Alomomola used Wish, the following turn, VK switched out Rillaboom. Switched out Muck and went into Rillaboom. But this allowed Alomomola to get a free flip turn and go into the King Gambit, which would then gain all of its health back. Now, I don't know if the Alomomola outsped the Muck or not. I wasn't paying that close attention to the speeds there. But even if it didn't, if the Muck stayed in and used an attack that was just strong enough to kill the King Gambit,
like a Drain Punch.
Or even maybe if it outsped and killed the Alomomola, King Gambit would not have gained all of its health back, and the game would not have been quite as lost.
It was a pretty damaging turn at the end game. That's right.
In fact, dare I say, VK probably would have won if he managed to kill King Gambit.
Yeah, well, he would need something like a Drain Punch or I don't know, Fire Punch or maybe something against to mitigate against the King Gambit. I don't know.
I don't know what his Muck was running, but I would assume he had something. And even if he didn't quite have something super effective, he could have just knocked off and hoped it killed. I don't know if it does kill. If it does, then all the better. Use knockoff. But like, You really shouldn't have switched and allowed that thing to come back in for free.
Unfortunately, it did happen. And yeah, Alamamola, in the end game, the terrifying Alamamola was able to barely survive against Rillaboom's Woodhammers, and King Gambit managed to sucker punch Dragapult for Keshba to take the win.
Like, I gotta wonder, what did he expect was going to happen that turn? Did he expect the Great Tusk would come in and gain all of its health back? No, the Great Tusk isn't what's gonna win you this game. It's the King Gambit.
Keshba knew, and the end game was played very well by Keshba. We gotta
BK
get
did not know.
And that's
BK
what
did not account for that.
And that's what cost him the game, unfortunately. And VK lost, Keshba won.
I feel like that was such an easy situation to avoid.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Next up, we got Royal Reloaded versus Botsy. This actually happened a few hours ago, at the time of this recording at least.
No, it's not a few hours ago. It was more like...
Yesternight?
Yeah, it was about 20 hours ago by now.
Yeah, yesternight. Yesternight we had the final one of these games, Royal versus Botsy. First off was NU, where it seemed Royal had all the answers to Botsy's Mons in the beginning.
No, Mikoi, what are you talking about? NU was game 3.
Wait, were these played out of order?
No, they're displayed out of order, yeah.
God
OU
damn
was
it.
first.
Well, god damn it. NU was game 3. What was Monotype and OU then?
Come on.
So actually, the first game was OU. Thanks, PokeArt, for clarifying that. First of all, Royal's Goldengo tried to cripple Botsy's Rillaboom with Trick Scarf, but Botsy knew ahead and knocked off Goldengo's Life Orb, as well as outspeeding and knocking off items from Royal's team anyway. So he had a beneficial thing with the Scarf.
Yep.
He lost it for a better item. Overall, this game, Botsy just played the stronger here, trapping the Slowking Galar with Heatran, taking advantage of Meowscarada's flower tricking in order to safely U-turn and kill it, managing to crit kill Goldengo via the Ivy Cudgel, and although Terra Fairy Mandibuzz managed to crit kill Dragapult, Clefable came in, avoid getting taunted. Well, technically, he switched to another move to get taunted. Encored. What am I thinking?
What? Me did, but it just chose to Moonblast that turn, so it didn't matter.
Right. He chose to Moonblast that turn, was able to sweep the rest of the team with it, and ultimately won.
Yeah, by the end, Royal didn't play badly. In the end game, he just played to the only outs he had left, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough.
Right.
He had to get a little lucky for it to have been enough.
Right. Next game was Monotype, and this one I really didn't...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Cutting you off. I think he also just let his Mons... Royal, I mean. I think he also just let his Mons get too crippled.
A lot. Yeah, a lot of the turns, Royal just had the advantages, but ultimately Botsy just outplayed him, and Royal just was left at a panic. And then Monotype was next.
Yeah.
Monotype was next, and this one is one of the games that I really, really didn't want to rewatch 3 or 5 times, but I had to, because it was boring. It was just flying versus flying. Whoa, what's the interesting note?
We're back in the Gen 8 era.
What's the interesting thing that happened? Oh, Frozen Moltres burning a Corviknight with its body? calling it an even hacks. Okay.
And then the Moltres eventually getting thawed out and actually being quite the MVP.
Yeah, it was, because we got to hit multiple flamethrowers and whatnot. Very, very good. But overall, this game was just long and plodding and very uninteresting. No mons died until turn 35 due to a crit Oko Hurricane. And yeah,
Yeah, that was very unfortunate because that crit Oko Hurricane was against Enamorous, which was basically going to be there for, I guess, Healing Wish to heal something back to full health without status, which in the end, Batsy did get to do, and Royal never got to.
Yeah, and yeah.
But luckily it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, though. It didn't matter because Royal played his Moltres very, very well. Yeah. A game I really, really didn't want to revisit over and over again, but I had to. Moltres ended up burning a couple of mons, using Flamethrower, did a lot of damage, and ultimately won the game for Royal.
Are you forgetting a certain play? It was the most exciting play of the entire game.
Which one?
One that made people react.
Which one? Which turn?
Oh, come on. In the game, but were you not shocked by it?
I don't think I was. I guess I was.
Ice Beam.
Which one? Which Ice Beam? The Dragonite using the Ice Beam on Gliscor?
No.
Oh, it was the dragon. Oh, it was the switch into Articuno 1D Knight. Oh.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty crucial turn. He got to kill the Dragonite off of that. It was okay. Yeah, okay. But other than that, yeah, this was just a very uninteresting game except for that one turn.
Yeah, that one turn kind of changed the whole tide of the game, and then it caused Royal to just win via Moltres.
Yeah, so well done, Royal. You got your one win. Shame about the next game, though, and you.
Oh, yeah. Shame about that.
Shame about this one. So it seemed Royal had all the answers to Batsy's mons in the beginning of this game. Avalog, getting to kill Decidueye, even tanking a Poltergeist out at it, even though... if this Decidueye isn't Sash, then what is it?
Boots?
It was Boots, probably. So, the Avalog getting to kill Decidueye was very nice. The Chansey was there to cripple Salazzle a lot with Thunderwave, and was able to heal off any good damage. But Salazzle having Encore was nice. Salazzle, I saw, never actually got paralyzed. In the beginning, at least. In the beginning, at least, when it mattered. Because...
It got paralyzed pretty quickly, didn't it?
No, it got paralyzed very quickly, but the paralysis effect never went off. It wasn't fully paralyzed for a turn. Because...
I see.
Because Royal sacked both Mismagius and Toxicroak, expecting a parade that never came. And
I don't think he was quite expecting a para. I think he was just kind of playing a little stupid.
He was hard switching his mons way too much.
He didn't have an answer to that, you see.
I mean, he had Mismagius and Toxicroak, which would at least do good damage against it, but like, what?
But would Toxicroak really... We
Not
don't
Toxicroak.
know if it actually had something to hit that well.
Yeah, maybe not Toxicroak, but Mismagius, definitely. It had Psychic, it had Shadow Ball, it had pretty much anything you could throw at it against a Salazzle.
Guess he wanted to save Chansey, and I guess nothing else actually switched in to Salazzle to take a hit properly. So yeah, that's the issue.
That's a big issue. And yeah, towards the end, we got of course, Electrode getting to beat the T-Wave right here, getting to beat Salazzle there at the end. Avalog living off a close combat, and then towards the end, we got the Scyther on Batsi's side actually being beneficial. Using Terra Normal against the Terra Steel Electrode in order to win at the end with close combat.
Didn't mention something rather obvious.
Which one?
Like, you don't even mention how Royal had a Gligar and like still threw out a lot of Mons to Salazzle.
Yeah, was that thing not have Earthquake?
You'd be right, it did not.
Wow, it is not Earthquake. Would have been beneficial against the Salazzle.
And you see, you're probably wondering if it wasn't Earthquake, why did Royal send it in like it had it? And then only proceed to realize it didn't and start fumbling things up.
And yeah, the end game was pretty moot on Royal's part. He did kind of choke the end game that way. And yeah, ended up.
Dang, Nico, I asked a question and you didn't answer.
What? You might be wondering what? The Earthquake?
You might be wondering why he sent it in as if it had Earthquake, but didn't.
Okay, why?
He didn't know.
Oof.
He assumed it had it. He did not look at his team well.
Yikes. What a way to end.
And we all know where that can get you.
Well, that's a beautiful end to your run, I guess. So yeah, that's the end for Royal's run. Royal got reloaded, and Batsi moved on to the losers bracket. Next.
I think you mean moved on in the losers bracket.
Yes. And last but not least was Poet versus Skimmy the God. This was actually the first game that was played. And
and the only one we never saw.
We didn't see this game. Unfortunately, I would love to tell you about this game. However, I cannot show you because the replay was lost thanks to the system error from Pokemon Showdown.
And Pote never telling us about the game.
Well, actually no, I did ask Pote what happened in the game. I said to be detailed as possible, but no, he just mentioned that he won Mono, he played poorly in Ubers, and then he choked OU. I would like to hear specifics, though.
Did he not give you any?
No.
Sad
times. But yeah, it went to 3 games, and Skimmy won, so nothing much else to say.
As predicted, to be honest.
Yeah. So, let's count how many tiers that were played in this round. So, we got a tie in terms of tiers played. Ubers and OU won with 4 games played. At least every tier got to be played at least once. It's just a matter that
Ubers and OU winning again?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a common thing. People like to prefer playing Ubers and OU, it seems. Much more than doubles, even though it got played twice.
My family's.
So, PokeArt, please tell us who won predicts.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, no one won. Goodbye.
No one won because
It was a tie.
it was a tie, Austin. It was a tie all along. We both won.
With 6 out of 8 predicts each.
And this is why pacifists never win, because you end up with no winners and no losers.
Pacifists indeed never win.
All right.
We learned that recently in an anime we watched.
Yikes! Don't spoil them that. Well, for people who
They don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for people who actually do know what we're talking about. So what?
We could be talking about a lot of things. They don't know. Just that was most recent.
I know, right? Anyway, let's lock predicts, and so we could end this long video. I didn't expect this recording to last an hour and 20 minutes, but here we are.
We are chatterboxes. That's why.
I'm sorry, we're chatterboxes. I'm sorry for the both of us. First,
I'm a chatterbox.
So
I'm a chatterbox when I get going.
Round 5, only the losers bracket. First of all, 7992 versus Taka, which happened.
I would have predicted Taka to win, and it would appear Taka has won.
I would have also predicted Taka to win, and yes, we can confirm Taka indeed won in a nail biter, which we'll review that. Well, don't worry, we'll review that game in the next video. Next up, Penter versus Keshba.
I don't know anymore.
This one's actually this one is gonna surprise a lot of people. Like whoever wins, people are gonna be surprised either way, because no one expected these two randos to make it this far, but here we are.
I think some people expected it out of Penter, not Keshba.
Well, who would you like to predict for this?
I don't know anymore.
Bro, pick one.
After witnessing Keshba beat VK, and after witnessing Penter lose to fragments in the way he did, making some questionable moves.
I think people are gonna.
I don't know anymore.
I think people are most likely gonna pick Keshba. I think people are more inclined to believe Keshba, and I believe that. I believe them because Keshba has been proving himself in unorthodox fashions, but I do generally think that Keshba is doing well, in quotation marks, well enough to at least make it this far. However, I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm a betting man. I'm going Penter.
I don't even know if that's a bet. I'm pretty sure that's the logical opinion by the populace.
Wow. Oh, no. Wait, what? I thought the populace would actually vote Keshba a lot.
I don't think people have high opinions on Keshba.
Against Penter?
People have higher opinions on Penter when he plays his best.
Well, I'm going Penter. What about you?
I don't know.
Pick a name, woman.
My favor too much on Penter, and I just genuinely don't even know anymore about Keshba.
Well, pick a name. Pick a name.
When I predict for Keshba.
All right.
No, when I predict against Keshba, he will win. When I don't predict him, he will. Wait, what? When I predict against Keshba, he will win. When I predict for him, he will lose. I don't think I win this. No matter what I pick.
Nobody wins at the end.
Should I just say Keshba somehow takes this?
Okay, fair enough. At least we agreed to disagree on this one. Penter or Keshba?
I don't know anymore.
Well, this next one, surely you'll know a lot more. Sificon versus Botsy.
Botsy.
Did they even lock tears?
Probably not.
Well, we still would have gone Botsy either way, because Botsy is generally a better player than Sificon. I'm sorry, Siffy, but Botsy takes this. Unless you win, which is very, very possible at this point. Next up, or last up, we got Hellray versus Skimmy the God. What I will like to tell you about who I think will win, someone already did it for us. This post.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, forfeiting TLT for personal reasons.
I didn't realize what you meant at first. I'm like, oh wait, I remember now.
Yeah, so we still would have predicted Skimmy, don't we?
Yeah.
And that
By a little. I wouldn't say it was I wouldn't say it was totally Skimmy definitely wins. I mean, Hellray has been doing fine.
he's been doing fine, but he'll certainly take it to 3, but I still think Skimmy will win.
Yeah. And Skimmy has one already.
Yep. So, that brings us to the end for round 4 recap and round 5 predicts. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss a video once they come out. See you next time, where hopefully the videos actually get shorter and shorter as we move on to round 5 recap and round 6 predicts.
I don't know what Hellray's dealing with, but take care of yourself, dude.
Alright. Thank you all for watching. This has been McCoy, signing out.
Goodbye.